Realistically, I think everybody's thinking along similar lines when they look at the list of the top 100 cryptocurrencies on here. DigiByte, really, you have to take into consideration what exactly separates DigiByte from these different technologies that we see that are approaching similar purposes along similar lines. I think DigiByte really is establishing themselves in a key substantial way that's going to be playing a big variable as things continue to move forward, and we see this spaces develop. I mean, especially in the current climate of cryptocurrency and the way that we've been seeing things going with the $268 billion market cap as it currently stands. But I think that DigiByte, as it's been well established, it's been around for quite some time. It is interesting to just look at the history of this technology, and I think as things continue to move forward, I mean, you really take into consideration it's been around since in 2014. It's really interesting how far back that really is when you consider how far Bitcoin has come since 2014, for example. And I think these are going to be some really key substantial variables that come together in DigiByte's favor as things really come to the forefront respectively. I mean, we're looking at the different news regarding DigiByte, and it's interesting to see Global Coin Report giving DigiByte this kind of attention, talking about DigiByte being worth $1 in 2018. And that's from where it is right now at 3 cents. I mean, me personally, I find that it's more important to do my research into the team that's working on these technologies, and ultimately I think that it's important to do research in regards to where we can expect technologies like DigiByte to be going in the near future. And I think that $1 in 2018. I mean, we're already more than halfway through 2018. So I would say, I think that I would be happy with, double digits. As far, any amount of increase would be nice to see. But, because when it comes to DigiByte, it's more of a long-term perspective. When I look at it, it's one of those technologies that I'm pretty ride or die when it comes to DigiByte. But me personally, I mean, I've been involved with cryptocurrencies for multiple amount of years now. And I remember back when DigiByte was fairly new. And of course, I'm very much looking forward to seeing where DigiByte's come, because it really has come a long way, currently ranking in that number 40 position. But I think as we continue to see this space develop and we see the different potential that's in store for DigiByte, the sky really is the limit when you take into consideration that the potential for cryptocurrencies is still at its optimum possibilities. We're really seeing some really big developments happening across the board involving so many different levels of accessibility that are made possible through the technology revolution that's happening on multiple levels of society. And I think DigiByte really is at the center of that. I think that when you take into consideration things like all the different deals that are being struck involving DigiByte, I'm certainly going to be looking forward to seeing how things move forward. And of course, make sure that you guys are using Twitter and so forth to stay up to date, follow these different cryptocurrencies, and of course stay up, just of course stay in the know, because remember, I'm not a financial advisor. This video is not financial advice. This video is for entertainment, educational purposes only, and the whole purpose of this video is just to basically provide an opinion regarding this space and the possibilities that are in store. But I think DigiByte really is one of those technologies that's making deals that are going to be really strategically important as we see the next few stages coming up involving the greater expansion of cryptocurrencies and the potential that's in store for DigiByte. When you pay attention to what's happening right now from a data perspective, certainly cryptocurrency is not without its volatility. I mean, there's obviously going to be a lot of different things happening. But one of the fundamental things that I always talk about here is the fact that you really need to pay attention and do your research into what these technologies are actually going to be doing in the real world, and how that's actually going to be looking realistically when you take into consideration a framework of how technology and the more and more people being connected to the internet over every single day across the world on an international scale is really developing a community that has the potential to leverage cryptocurrencies. And every single crypto on here has something in common. They all do something that's going to have a fundamental impact. If they didn't have that, they wouldn't have survived up until this point. There's a reason why we're looking at the cryptos that we have here. It's a very competitive space, and DigiByte's been they've been holding their own for quite some time, and I think that that's really something that they pay attention to in terms of the establishment and how these various different deals are being struck. But I think that in terms of blockchain, there really is a lot of accessibility and really things that aren't being leveraged currently by the greater levels of society and the various different dynamics that are happening across the board, involving so many different mechanisms. And essentially, as we move forward, we've been seeing Bitcoin's taking a lot of hits. I mean, at $6,000, and of course at the end of 2017 we were seeing it at its all-time highs. And I think that as we move forward, we're definitely going to see the cheaper altcoins being much more competitive, respectively, when it comes to the because take into consideration the fact that the market is where it is right now, and there's so much volatility, so it definitely does have its impact on the overall the way that the public consciousness perceives these different technologies in the greater context of the potential that's made available. And looking forward, it's really going to be playing a substantial role in the greater expansion of what we come to be able to see. So it is ultimately interesting to be seeing Bitcoin dominance at 42%, and of course we are still very early, respectively, when you take into consideration the greater possibilities that these technologies have waiting out in front of them. So this is why we always say that it's important to listen to the community, or listen to yourself, and essentially make your own decisions when it comes to this space. But if you guys are interested, you could always connect with us on the Twitter. Of course, we're always interested in seeing what you guys have to say, sharing information regarding these technologies, and staying up to date regarding all these various different things. It's really interesting to see how these communities have been growing so rapidly. I think cryptocurrency is one of the strongest online communities to date, because people are so invested in basically the facts and staying up to date. But all that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this content. I mean, if you're interested, definitely make sure you check out DigiByte. I mean, definitely take into consideration the max supply, though. I mean, that's a big number right there. And of course, the circulating supply as well. And with these sort of numbers right here, that makes it very, very challenging for DigiByte to reach a number like $1. But I mean, ultimately, I do think that as we move forward, I mean, the days of when the days of $billion market caps give way to $1 trillion market caps, I think anything still is possible. So I mean, mathematically, you be the judge there, but ultimately, I think that we are seeing a really big shift in the public consciousness and the overall potential that's in store for a lot of these different technologies moving forward. So it is interesting to see how these things have been developing. And of course, if you guys are interested, you could always connect with us on our Snapchat. You always can just scan that snap code right there, screenshot it, scan it on Snapchat, and you guys can connect with us through Snapchat, because we've had so many different requests of people who have been interested in connecting with us in that way, on different social media platforms outside of Twitter and YouTube and so forth. So Snapchat's just another option if you guys are interested. But all that being said, I certainly am very much paying attention to what's going to be happening to DigiByte moving forward. But also remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not your dad. Like I said, this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. But all that being said, I think moving forward, we very much are early in the game when it comes to cryptocurrencies and the greater possibilities that are in store for these technologies as we move forward. So I'm very much excited about seeing the different potential that's in store. Make sure that you guys let us know what you are thinking about down in the comments down below. And of course, feel free to reach out to us on Twitter and so forth. And it's been very exciting, contacting you guys, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.